Good morning, guys. It is Thursday, which means it is my favorite day of the week. And I am super excited to see there's already like 10 people in the comments saying hi. Some Maddie Worky left a really funny emoji. I don't know if it's showing up on my end the way that it showed up on your end. Because sometimes, like if an Android user sends an emoji to an iPhone user and then it's like, what are you actually sending me? It looks like it's a tired green square is what I currently see. So anyways, thanks so much guys for joining me today. Every Thursday is awesome with you guys, but today I'm extra excited because I get to talk about something that I really love and something that I do in my own business every day, which is how to utilize content marketing to build your brand. Okay, y'all are killing me with these emojis. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, someone else just sent another emoji, Jane Valentine. And to me, on my end, it looks like a blue whale or a blue fish that is singing. So y'all tell me if I'm getting any of these right. Anyways, I'm very excited about today, guys. I'm actually going to go ahead and I want to tell you a little bit of something real quick before we get started. This training that we're going to do is a little bit heavy. And I want to be, Jane said, yeah, I think it's a whale. Awesome. So I want to be very mindful of that. And this is something that I'm very passionate about and I could talk about for hours because I do it every day. But I also am trying to be very cognizant of that. I'm trying to be very mindful of that for you guys, that sometimes I get there's just too much information to talk about at one time. So if you guys are okay with it, let me know. If not, I will change my mind. But if you guys are okay with it, I have made the executive decision to split this training into two parts. So today we were supposed to meet for an hour. And next week, we actually weren't having coffee with EverBee at all. So, like next Thursday, I'm actually going to Charlotte, North Carolina next week. So, if anybody's from Charlotte or if anybody's from North Carolina, drop me or North Carolina NC something in the comments so I can obviously celebrate you as well. But I'm going to be going to NC next weekend to celebrate my husband's birthday as well as Valentine's Day. So, because of that, I was like, I'm just gonna, we're not gonna have coffee with EverBee. So you guys can focus on like your family, celebrating Valentine's with your specific others, your significant others, etc. But then I thought about it and I was like, I want this training to be very impactful for you guys. And what I don't want it to be is overwhelming. Okay. So I'm being very intentional by making this decision. So don't think that she's just like deucing and she's like dipping out early. I want to give you guys a lot, but not all at one time. And I hope and think, and I believe that is going to be the way that makes the most sense for you guys as well. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Like always, we're just going to get right freaking into it today. And let's go ahead. So it's content marketing, social media for online store owners. If you guys are here, you more than likely know that is what we are discussing today. Like I mentioned, this is, I think you can see it. It says 1 of 22 pages, okay? Because this is a big one. So it's a little hefty and there's a lot to talk about and I can go super deep. So my thought is let's just do our best to get halfway today. And if we do more, awesome. If we do less, also cool. Whatever's going to make the most sense for you guys and your brains and your processing. All right. But before I do that, I got two things to talk about. Number one is EverBee just Cody, if you guys don't know, Cody McGuffey is the owner, CEO, founder, whatever of EverBee. And he came up with, or I think he came up, I don't want to say that and then like not credit somebody else, but the EverBee team is now moving forward with a new slogan of sorts. So we used to be, and we still are, but we're moving, we're evolving, right? We used to be like the best platform for Etsy sellers, the best research tool for Etsy sellers. And over the past couple of years, I think it's been 5 years almost since EverBee's been a thing. So people are in EverBee. We are seeing you guys be not just quote unquote, because Etsy is huge and Etsy is what got us all here, right? But we're not just Etsy sellers, right? So we have the ability to be creators of a larger magnitude in some way, shape, or form. So we decided that we are going to now say every human is a creator and every creator should own a business. So I think this is a very empowering thing and a very cool thing to kind of run forward with you guys. So I'm loving that. And I wanted to make sure that we talked about that a little bit today. The second thing I want to do is today is actually 1 year since I started working with EverBee. So I want to celebrate that first and foremost, but I also want to celebrate you guys a little bit because this has also been a year of all of us hanging out together as well. So I kind of just wanted to take a quick moment because I personally have been struggling a lot, a lot. Like right now, I'm kind of overwhelmed. I'm not gonna lie. Been struggling a lot with some ADHD symptoms, some imposter syndrome, some fear, some whatever. And my brain has just not been very kind to me lately. And I get scared to even come here and hang out with you guys. And that makes me sad because this is like what I love to do. This is, you guys are who I love to be with. And I just wanted to be very forthright with you guys. And I want to be very transparent with you guys that sometimes all we have to do is show up, right? I just I felt something just so heavy on my heart that I really just wanted to share with you guys. If you don't mind, hopefully, I don't want to take up too much time because I told you we were splitting this into two parts. So I don't want to take up too much of your time, but sometimes showing up in whatever way that you can is enough. And I want to celebrate you and me in this moment that there are currently 61 people right here listening to this, hanging out with me. And I just want to let you guys know that that's awesome. Like that's it makes me feel so not alone on this entrepreneurial journey. And it also makes me feel so proud of you guys, because you could be literally doing everything else right now. And so could I. But this is what we chose to do. This is what we chose to show up for. We chose to show up for ourselves today. We chose to show up for our future selves today. We chose to show up for our family's future today. And every choice that you make every single day to show up is another choice for those three people: your current self, your future self, and your family's future. Whoever, that might be a lot of people. But I just wanted to say, thank you guys for allowing me the space to feel seen, to feel sometimes like not 100% and still be able to hang out with you. And I want you to feel the same. Okay? So like when we are here, like when I said every human is a creator and every creator should own a business. We're just like, let's just go back to like everyone is human. We are all humans. Like we are all in connection here together. And this is the most supportive community that I've ever been a part of. And it really does feel like I'm not working for somebody else right now. Like I am here with my people and you guys are my people. And I am so stinking grateful that even though sometimes it's hard to push right now just because of where my mental health is at, where my like ADHD symptoms are at sometimes, it's tough. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little tough to click that go live button, but I am wanting to prove to you guys that if you could just also show up in whatever way that means, sometimes showing up is just freaking waking up and not doing anything else the rest of the day, and that's okay. So I wanted to show up and continue showing up to show you guys that if you can continue doing that for yourselves in whatever way makes the most sense every single day for your business, for your family, for yourself, whatever, like big things can happen. And if I can impact just one person today, we got 62 people hanging out with me right now. If this message that I'm saying today that was just weighing like so heavily on my heart this morning, I could have just not said it, by the way. I could have just like moved on and went straight into social media, but it felt so heavy in a good way where I thought that if I spoke these words to you guys and I showed you this vulnerable side of me, that you would be able to embrace yours as well. And if I can impact just one person with that message who might also be going through the exact same things that I'm going through, and empower them and motivate them and inspire them to do something and show up in some way today, that's what I'm here for. So I really hope that that message resonates with you guys. And again, I really appreciate you all for allowing me the space to speak it. And then I also want to say, again, celebrating you guys for showing up here today, because you could literally be doing anything else with your hour, with your 30 minutes, with your 45 minutes, whatever. Like you guys are choosing yourself right now. You are choosing to show up. And even if we're not like doing anything. Like we're not putting pen to paper necessarily. We're not like launching an Etsy listing necessarily. Whatever. We are showing up today. You are showing up today and you are consuming and you are creating and you are getting excited about creating and you are connecting with others who share your mindset and share your values and have like-minded opinions. So anyways, I just wanted to say that really fast. I love you guys. I'm very, very grateful. We're gonna just get on through it, okay? If you guys are cool with it, let's get to the good stuff. I think that was good, but I really appreciate it. I do see all of your comments. I thank you guys so much. I'm gonna move on before I cry because I love you so much. So as you see, I literally put this in here because I knew that I would do it. I knew that I would blab. I will stop blabbing. Now it's time to get to why you came. All right, so we're gonna talk today about the role of social media and content marketing in driving sales. Okay, so a lot of people, including myself, have been using social media for a very long time, and they utilize it for the purpose of sales. That's what we're doing here today, right? But there's so much more that goes into the beginning of it before we ever make a sale. Like right now, for example, the fact that you guys are here hanging out with me, I'm just going to be transparent AF for a second. Technically speaking, this is an opportunity for EverBee to make a sale. Technically, if we brass tacks break it down, this is EverBee's opportunity to grow their business. This is an intentional effort that they chose by we decided to work together, right? And that is an effort on growing their business and growing their customer loyalty and growing their community, right? And of course, one day down the road, either one of two things, theoretically speaking, might happen. Number one, you are brand spanking new. You've never heard of EverBee, and you just wanted to tune into this today because you saw it on YouTube. And welcome. I'm glad that you're here. And I'm also sorry if you're brand new and you just got just mental health for the first 10 minutes. Welcome to the party. This is how we do things. But that's either you. And then maybe because you felt connected to me today, maybe because you got a lot out of this once we get into the actual training, because I blab. But once you get a lot out of this, you're like, maybe one day down the road, you're interested in investing in EverBee because we invested in you. Or number two, maybe you're the person who is already using EverBee. And because of what we're learning today, because of all of the times that we show up for you guys in whatever fashion that means, the customer service team, the YouTube channel, the Facebook group, the new products that we're launching almost every 3 months at this point right now, you decide to stay a part of EverBee's and you decide to invest in EverBee further. I am saying that, and I'm getting a little vulnerable, I guess, as a business owner too, to say that is what social media should be. Social media should be social. It should feel human. It shouldn't feel like a transaction. Etsy's for the transactions. Shopify's for the transactions. PayPal is for the transactions. We're going to get them there, but we got to get them here first, right? Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So I want to say, when I say in driving sales, it is not conversion immediately. We're going to talk about how to get them there first. All right? Hope that makes sense. So today, really quickly, the very beginning, we're going to talk about why external traffic is going to help you guys in the first place. So whether you're on Etsy, you're on merch by Amazon, you're on Shopify, you're a creator like me, and you're selling stuff on social media, that's a very important reason why you should do social media, obviously. But we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then we're also going to just go back to basics and talk about how social media actually fits into your overall sales funnel in the first place. And you guys might not know what that is, and that's fine. We're going to go over it. So the first thing is the why, okay? So why do we care? Why should we care? So Etsy's search algorithm, as you guys very, very much know, more than likely, is very competitive. And if we're thinking about someone who might be doing Shopify, or someone like me who might be selling services or selling digital products through social media, all three of these places are extremely competitive. And if we think about Shopify as an example, you don't have this giant group of people. And by group, I mean millions of people who are actively going to this location to buy the products or to search for products. Granted, they are sometimes probably going to Google and searching for things, and then hopefully you're showing up there. However, not all of us are showing up there. nor are all of us showing up on Etsy. And it's because of the competition. But the good news is we have the ability to be in the driver's seat. We have the ability to control the narrative. We have the ability to drive the traffic. Okay. That's as many car analogies as I can think of because I bought a new car this week. So I'm very like on the road in my mind right now. So bringing in your own traffic is obviously going to give you control over that. But there also is a way to actually help your bottom line by time investment. So if you can do organic marketing, if you can actually show up, there's that show up again. If you can do the stuff that takes the time and takes the effort and takes the showing up and blah, 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 you can actually save money overall because yes, time is money. I do fully believe that time is the most expensive thing that we have. But if we're utilizing it in the right ways, which we're going to talk about a little bit today, then it's worth it because you can actually save on paid advertising. So, excuse me, Etsy obviously has paid ads, and Shopify, that is one of the absolute biggest things that you're going to have to do in order to drive traffic. Not have to, but like I would recommend is to put a lot of dollars into driving that traffic. And if you could do a little bit of that and a lot of bit of organic driving, that could be something really, really big for you. Okay. So quick thing. And then also I just put a little thing here at the bottom that if you are building a personal brand outside of Etsy's algorithm, not outside, because we want to be on Etsy. I mean, I would recommend if you're not already. If you're not, I don't know why you're here, but also I love you and welcome. But we want to be on Etsy as a store. So the same way, if you guys can think about if you go to the mall, which I don't even know if y'all have malls anymore. My mall is dying and it's been dying for years. But if you go to the mall and if you just wait for someone to come into your shop and you have this like brick and mortar kind of store and you're just like, does anybody want to buy my things? Like the answer probably no, unless they just happen to be physically walking by. So when you think about that physical walking by person, think about that person as the person who wrote the exact keywords that you had in your listing. So that has to be like a 1 in a million chance that that person walked by your store, right? But what if we have a team of 2 and one person is like, is anybody gonna buy anything from me today? Cool. But then the other person is out on the road and they're guerrilla marketing and they're grabbing people and they're like, you need this. You see this tumbler? I've got 50,000 of them in inventory. Follow me. Let's go to the mall. Right. So I want to just paint that little picture for you guys, that little analogy that we are in the driver's seat if we take that approach. So if we can see ourselves as a store in a mall and maybe on a Tuesday, 3 people, especially in Lansing, Michigan, 3 people went to the mall that day. And they all were people who typed in your exact keywords. That's very, very, very rare. So what can we do to get them there? To get them there ourselves, right? So that's the why. And also, this is just one other thing I wanted to say is Etsy also rewards shops that bring in external traffic simply because that means they're making more money. They're a business, right? So more people, better listings, more conversions, more money for them, right? So if you can give them those 2 things, more people coming in to their business, their platform, their livelihood, if you can bring people there and you can have incredible listings that convert them right there on the spot, or by the way, this is just a little side note, you can have an incredible marketing strategy that gets them back and retargets them if they didn't purchase immediately right there. That's what we're talking about today. Etsy's going to like you. They're going to see, they don't freaking care where the people came from. They literally don't care. They don't care if they were already on Etsy and then they typed some stuff in and then they found you. They don't care. They don't care if they came from Pinterest and then they bought it. They don't care. It was a freaking purchase or it was a view. It was a click to their website, right? So they don't care how they get there. They just see that volume is happening with this listing. So their internal algorithm is going to be like, I should boost this listing. That's going to make me more money. That's what Etsy is saying, feeling, thinking. It's an AI algorithm. So it's not thinking anything, but that is what is happening, guys. So if we can tell Etsy that we deserve traffic instead of begging Etsy for traffic and relying on 13 tags. We're just like, we're really putting our entire livelihood and our entire family's future on 13 tags, y'all. Come on, let's get in that driver's seat and instead take control of it. Okay. Also, this is probably the best, most and favorite important part for me is it also allows you the opportunity. So getting social, being a human and doing content marketing for your business allows you to build a brand. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with I forgot what it's called now, but Scott Volker has something like Brand Builders or whatever his company's name is. But he literally, that's what made him so popular on YouTube, was he was kind of like going against the mold and talking about building your brand first rather than building your listing first. And I think that's very, very important. And I wholly agree with that kind of sentiment. However, if you're already on Etsy and or you're thinking about getting it and or you're on Shopify, I don't care. We are all humans who are all creators who all deserve to own businesses. So wherever that is, whatever your medium of choice is, you have the ability to own that relationship by putting yourself in the driver's seat. Okay. So instead of just waiting for Etsy to give it to us, that was, point number 2. Not only are we taking responsibility and doing this ourselves, but we're also getting the reward of having them later. So like, that's my baby now. Like, I talk to that person, they trust me. Like, we're going back and forth in DMs. Like, that's a person that I am communicating with. It's not a person that Etsy owns. That makes sense. So hope that helps. Also, something else that's really, really important. I don't know if you guys do this. I'm going to ask. I'm going to be fully transparent and say that this might not be true. When I am going on Etsy or when I'm going on Shopify or Google or Pinterest or something of the sort, where I am looking to buy something or I am looking to determine if I can trust that person with my money. It might be completely unconscious of me, but I'm doing it. Sometimes when I'm on Etsy, I might be like, is this going to be the best thing for me to buy? And it depends on the product and it depends on my intention behind the product. Is it a gift? Do I want to see if there's more things that I could possibly do? Whatever, or buy from them. I sometimes will go to Instagram immediately without even consciously thinking about it, just to see what their online presence is like, just to see if there's any other products that I might be missing, just to see if they are showing up. There that is again, showing up. If they are also showing up for their community, aka potentially me, because I might want to buy from them. So that also allows you to have that same impact on people like me who might be kind of demanding that you're a brand. I need to believe that you're a brand and you're not just an Etsy shop, right? So sometimes that's how I feel. And I don't know if you guys feel the same. Sometimes if you're buying something, if you're doing the searching, but that might be something to think about. And not even if you don't do it, but maybe considering that other people have those like preliminary steps before they make their purchase decisions might be something to think about. Okay. Also, because of that, I put bonus in like all caps, a million exclamation points in red, because you also have the ability to get more people when you are off of Etsy or Shopify or wherever, because again, you are kind of like being human and you're showing up in different ways in different platforms. So you could be receiving inbound leads for more products, for more ideas, for more design aesthetics. You are basically putting yourself in the driver's seat and then putting your customer in the passenger seat and being like, here's what I got, but do you want anything else? And you can't really do that on Etsy. It's really hard to do that with a Shopify paid ad. So we're going to do it organically instead. And then you have the ability now, because you went this route, to expand your current product list potentially. Because what if this happens to me all the time? Oh, my entire business, guys, I literally kid you not. My entire business online is made up of mistakes that I have made in the past. So I was like, well, I'm never going to do that again. So let's do this instead. And that turned into a service or a product, or someone asked for it and I gave it to them. That's literally how I make my products. Okay. So you guys could not only expand your current product listings potentially, or your not inventory as it relates to physical inventory, but like your inventory of services, your inventory of products, your inventory of ideas. You could expand that by simply expanding to more people, right? But then you could also increase your revenue potential by basically allowing people to speak to you. Could people reach out to you on Etsy? Absolutely, for sure. But do they? Very rarely, unless they are mad, unless they giving a bad review and they got some things to say. But it's rare, very rare that someone will go out of their way on Etsy to come to you and or on Shopify. So if they found your website, it's very rare that they're going to send you a message or they're going to send you an inquiry form or whatever it is to be like, I was wondering if you could do this instead. Could we add this word or something like that? Or maybe it's a tote bag and you're like, could you put this on a shirt instead? And that's not something you currently have in your repertoire right now. That is going to be another opportunity for you to make more money as well. Okay. So I hope I can say this till the cows come home. Like I said earlier, like there's so many reasons, and Etsy's algorithm is like very small reason. There are so many other reasons, and I hope that I'm able to go back to basics with you guys today and really convince you of that. All right. Next up, really quickly. So we talked about the why. Next up, I want to talk about the where. So where are your people falling as it relates to their sales cycle, their purchasing decisions? Okay. So this is something that was built a long time ago. You could literally straight up go to Google, type in sales funnel, go to YouTube, type in sales funnel. You'll find a much better example of this and a much better like overview of this. But basically, you just need to understand that when someone is potentially thinking about buying something, or even before they think about buying something, they go through a process, and it was built into what's called a funnel. So it's just going to go right. And the reason why it goes is because the top is going to be a lot of people. So you pour in your protein powder and all of it goes right there. And then it filters down into your water for your smoothie, right? Because we got a lot of peeps up here. And then as they start to go down, a couple peeps start to trickle off and they start to fall out of the funnel. Okay. So that's why we're going that way. All right. So the question is, where does social media and or content marketing, because those could be two different things, technically speaking, but in this case, we're just going to lump them together. Where do those happen, or where do they fit into your funnel? So the first thing is awareness, discovery, evaluation, intent, purchase, and loyalty. So, or this has also been advocacy, loyalty and advocacy. So basically, it just allows someone to learn about you in the awareness phase. Discovery, maybe they see an Instagram post, right? It's kind of perfect, right? So we see an Instagram post, and then we move down to discovery and we see an Instagram ad one day. And then we see on an Instagram story that you have a product that might be something of interest to me. So that we're moving down to the evaluation. And that is allowing either me as a potential buyer to go evaluate your items, or it's allowing you to come to me and ask if I would be willing to look at the products, right? It's a tit and tat kind of thing here. And then intent is like, am I actually interested in this or not? Purchase. And then loyalty would be the purchase, they buy it. And then loyalty would be, they keep coming back for more, right? So like the fact that there are 73 people on this thing with me right now, and the fact that you guys are so engaged in the comments, you guys keep coming back for more. I keep seeing people's names, which is why I felt so compelled, by the way, to speak my truth this morning, is I keep seeing the same people's names showing up time and time again. I'm talking for months, y'all. I have seen some of y'all's names for literally months with me. So as much as I show up, y'all show up too. So that is loyalty, right? So if you can do the exact same thing for someone else in your own brand, could be really big. So here's where social media shows up in that funnel. And when we think of this funnel, by the way, it is very subconscious, unconscious, whatever. So this is not necessarily something that our buyers are doing or going through. All of this, by the way, could literally, from awareness to purchase, from 1 to 5, that could literally happen within 3 minutes. All of that can happen at one time. It could also happen within 3 months. So the awareness could happen, then they kind of linger a little bit, and then they could discover some stuff, and then they can linger a little bit, So there's so much that goes into this without the person on the other end even knowing. But then it's our responsibility as business owners and creators who should own businesses. It is our responsibility to know that consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, whatever it is, they are experiencing this. And it is our Right. It is our responsibility, is our due diligence to do our due diligence and meeting them where they are on each piece. Okay. So here's a quick example of what that means. Awareness for social media. This is where you're going to see the stuff. So like if you want people to know about you, if you want, what's awareness? Being aware, right? So if you want people to be aware of who you are, could you chill on Etsy for the rest of your life, make 1,000 listings, make the dopest SEO strategy ever? Sure, absolutely. Or could we also, and or, you know, only, whichever one you want to do, could we also add in making our own awareness? Absolutely. So it gets you more exposure overall because you are telling your story or you're showing your products in more places than just one. Okay. This also obviously attributes to a Shopify as well. Okay. Discovery. This allows, so when you're in the discovery phase, what does social media do? It allows open, easy conversations with your ideal people because the goal is you are making content that is bringing them to you and it is allowing you to own them. That sounds bad, but we know what we mean. So now we have the ability to outreach to them. You have the ability to engage with them in comments. You have the ability to DM them. You have the ability to create something called an auto DM where people are actually communicating with you, an AI, in your sleep. So you don't even have to be there, So there's so many different ways that this could be doing the work for you. I don't know about you guys, but I ain't never talked to nobody on Etsy on a comment. Not once, unless it was a review and I had to respond to it because they were mean. We don't have to worry about that on Instagram, on TikTok, on wherever. You own that. You own the relationship. You start the relationship. You stop the relationship. You grow it. It's a million different things, right? So that's where it could fit into discovery. Then when we're thinking about evaluation, so they're thinking, is this something that I'm interested in? I think I've seen them a couple times. This product seems pretty cool. I'm still on the fence though. I haven't made it to purchase yet. And again, all of this is going on unconsciously, okay? But we know that it's happening, whether it be a short time frame or a long time frame. So since we know it's happening, we can show up in ways that guarantee they move down that funnel instead of staying stuck in the evaluation or even reverting backwards, okay? So evaluation, we have the ability to send or post direct links to your products, your freebies, your lead gen forms, your listings itself, whatever, in just a few clicks. So that's something that, again, you own. You don't have to wait for someone to type in the exact strategy of SEO keywords to find you. You are able to be like, hey, boo, how you doing? You like my products? Like you have the ability to literally do that all day, every day. That could be your entire full-time job, is just reaching out to people and engaging with them and being a freaking human and making social. All right. Next up, intent and purchase. While someone is deciding to make a purchase. So I put these two together, okay, intentionally. Intent is like, I think I want this, but I'm like right there on the edge to determine if it's for me or not. And then purchase is like, all right, freaking Lord, I'll buy it. Like they finally take that little like jump over the cliff. Probably not a good analogy for today. Anyways, so intent and purchase, I put them together intentionally, okay? While someone is deciding to make a purchase, again, like we discussed, consciously or unconsciously, you are continuing, here, show up again. You are continuing to show up however long that takes. You are continuing to check in with them. You are continuing to maybe like their post. You are continuing to post more content that is because they followed you, they engaged with you in the past, they are going to be presented with your future content. So they are now being able to see that as well. Okay. So all of those things are happening and they're keeping you at the top of their mind, making that purchase even easier. All right. Last but not least, the loyalty or advocacy stage of social. When we say like, where can these kinds of things fit into a standard conscious, subconscious, unconscious, whatever sales funnel or purchase funnel, it's you can utilize that time to basically make more money by showing happy people. So you could do past and current customers, you could do reviews, you could do photos, videos from them, whatever it is. And the good thing is you're like basically building your social proof all the time. Where on Etsy, there's there's a couple of places that you could do this, but it's like less impact. So a couple of places, if you're not at all interested in what I'm saying and you just want to stay on Etsy, that's fine. You could do it in your photos. So in your 10, I think it's 10, right? 10 photos that you have in your listings, you could pop an image of someone wearing the t-shirt that they bought. And you could put a little review there. Okay. That's one example. But you don't want to put like too much more because you need to use the other 9 photos for like other intentional things, right? So like kind of limited there. We could also put a review or 2, like maximum, in our description of the listing. So maybe it's something that we can actually put in the description to be like, hey, this is all the stuff about the listing. Then here, Leslie loved it. Here's what she said. You can kind of put that in there, but like again, it's minimal. There's only so many places that we can really put any more social proof. And then of course, the most important social proof on Etsy is going to be the verified purchase review. So like the actual reviews, people bought it, they liked it, or they hated it, and they spoke about it below, which could, as we both know, make or break your Etsy store, right? So I personally like to have a little bit more control over that. We talked about, ADHD and mental health at the beginning. I need control. Ask my husband. We are working on that. I need to know that like I am safe. That like if everything were to just crash tomorrow, I got this because I got a personal brand and I got all these other people over here. So it is, if nothing else, a protectionary clause for myself to be able to know that I am able to show up in other places and have control over those places and still make money on the original place. Okay. Hope all of that makes sense, guys. All right. I'm seeing some comments over here. I want to make sure I'm not missing any questions. Cool. Sweet. All right. All right, let's keep going. So based on the sales funnel, that might have been a little overwhelming. That's why I was saying we are going to split this into 2 because I am on page 11. So we got a long way to go. We haven't even gotten into the like meat and potatoes yet, but I really thought it was important, especially because it's the beginning of the year. I think it's really important to sometimes go back to basics. So a lot of people might be telling you, on YouTube videos, I've seen plenty of them, trust me, where they're like, it's like a maybe freaking 30-second to 1-minute snippet of their entire 15-20-minute video is like, oh, drive traffic to your Etsy store. And you're like, okay, but how? How? And why? And I personally am a contextual person. And I'm Scorpio. So I don't like being told what to do. So if I was on the other end of the screen and Leslie was just talking at me and she was just telling me what to do, but she wasn't telling me why it's even important or how to even do it, I would like very much so tune her out. And I hope that's not what you guys are doing. So I kind of wanted to utilize this session to go back to basics and get you guys even just like maybe thinking outside of your current brain box. I haven't said that in a while, but I used to say brain box all the time last year. If you happened, because we were just talking a second ago about how I'm celebrating you guys for being here and I see you guys like every freaking month. If you were with me, I think it was like last summer when I was saying brain box like every other time that we talked, let me know. Drop brain box in the comment or put a little brain emoji. I'd be interested to see like who all remembers that phrase that I used to use. It's coming back, I guess. So kind of getting out of our brain box a little bit. That's what I really wanted today to be, to really get back to basics, to get back to the fundamentals of why we should even be doing this. And then next week, I want to talk about, okay, cool, we got it. Let's do the how. Okay. So the one thing I wanted to hit on really fast before we, close out too much today is you guys don't have to worry about being everywhere. You just need to be, this is what I always say, you don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be in the right wheres, which is not a term. It's not a word, but I say it because you don't have to be on, like, let's just list them all off for a second. LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Meta, whatever the heck we're calling it nowadays. TikTok, if that still exists. Flip, that's a new one. That's fun. Still trying to figure that one out. Pinterest, YouTube Shorts. Oh, by the way, it could be Instagram Reels, Instagram Carousels, Instagram Stories, so there are so many things to look at. There are so many places to be. And the question is, how in God's green earth? Because if you are tuning into this today, in the description of this video, you will see, like, the title is literally Social Media Plan for Ecom Owners Who Have No Time. So I'm trying to stick to that. And I don't want to make you think that you got to be in all of those different places doing all of those different things because you don't. I'm going to be really, really real with you guys right now. I thought I had to be everywhere. Like, oh girl, I was losing it. And that's probably why I'm so like mentally unwell 90% of the time now, because I did the most all the time at the very beginning of my journey. And then I realized that like it wasn't really driving me what I wanted. And these were driving me what I wanted. And then these were consuming so much of my time. And also, just getting back to like where we were earlier, kind of triggering my anxiety a little bit, because it's the places that were not performing for me that were making me feel imposter syndrome. But I could have just looked at these guys and been like, these are really performing, like outperforming everything. Why don't I? And I do now, because I'm finally decided to trust myself and just do it. Why don't I just focus on those and leave the other ones behind? So I'm not on TikTok anymore. And some of you guys might have found me on there. I have like 120,000 followers on there. I don't give a rat's booty. I don't care. I care about the people. Very, very, very much so care about the people there. I care about how it started. It launched my business. I really, really am so appreciative and grateful and humble to think about how that app truly defined what I have right now. But it is turning into something that I don't like. It is turning into something that is anxiety ridden. It is turning into a political nonsense location. And that's not what I want. I want to work with people who are wanting to be empowered, who want to be motivated, who want to be inspired, who want to laugh, who want to watch funny cat videos. Like, I want to get back to basics in my own business. So I decided to just nix some of them completely. I used to do Pinterest. I used to do LinkedIn. I used to do Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Literally everything. And then, by the way, I also did it on my personal stuff. So I had like business stuff and personal stuff. And I just decided it is time to cut through the noise and go where my people are, while also going where my goals are leading me. So that's what I want to say here is, how do you determine? Because I can't tell you. I can tell you what each of the platforms do easily, and I can tell you what each of the platforms could or could not be used for, should or should not be used for. But I cannot tell you where to go with that. I cannot tell you what your business should do. How you choose that and how you decide that for yourself is, number one, you need to understand your audience like the back of your hand. And I know I have said this ad nauseum. I know I have said this so many stinking times, and I will never not say it. Because if you do not know your audience, you literally shouldn't have a business, in my opinion. Might be wrong. But if you don't know who you're selling to, if you don't know why you're selling to them, if you don't know how this product, this service, this whatever is going to help this person with whatever they're struggling with. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It doesn't have to be like, I don't have money, so I need this product to give me money. It's not like that. It could simply be, I want to elevate. Let's just talk about, I'm going to stand up and today's Vulnerability Thursday, y'all. And I'm embracing it. I am literally wearing spider pants. And I wore these to bed last night. And I'm wearing a little Nike hoodie and an EverBee shirt. You're lucky that there's an EverBee shirt on me today. It's one of those days, right? So who is going to resonate with that? And maybe I don't personally, but maybe my goal in life is to elevate my style, because obviously I could use some help. Maybe I want to do that. That could be my problem. It's not a problem, but you know what I mean? Like, maybe that is the problem that you solve. Maybe you are helping people who don't have a lot of time to get ready in the mornings elevate their style. Like, as long as you know that, and as long as you know that that is the problem that you could potentially solve for them, it's a lot freaking easier to talk to them, okay? And it's a lot freaking easier to make the right products. That's why I said earlier that my entire business, I'm not even joking, has been built on either someone asking for it, or has been built from me seeing that this product or this service or this course or this blah, 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 whatever it was missing one thing, maybe. And if they had this one extra thing, could they have done even more? Could they have looked even better? And the answer is yes. So then cool, let me go make some more products. Okay. So it could really, really help your brand overall once you know your person. All right. The next thing that you need to consider, now that you know that your person and you get like real nitty gritty with that person, their likes, their dislikes, the stores that they shop outside of you, the things that they do on the weekends with their family, like, get to freaking know them, give them a name. Like, You know how I called ChatGPT Charles? Like personify them, like give them a name, talk to them, empathize with them, like the same way that like I don't know any of y'all stories, but like I come here every week feeling so connected to you, even though I'm not, but like I am, you know what I mean? So like feel that, know them. Okay. Write all that down. That's your exercise for the week until we see each other next Thursday. Then the second thing we're going to do is, okay, now that I know who this person is, now that I know what they deal with, what they struggle with, blah, 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 why do they choose me? And why? Okay, let's go back. Fundamentals. Every human is a creator, and every creator deserves to own a business, right? We talked about that at the beginning. So, what are your goals? Knowing that that is a fundamental truth. We're just going to call it a fundamental truth. Every human could be a creator, and every creator could own a business. And in our case, we're saying is and should, right? I said could, but in our case at EverBee, we're saying you should. Like, go do it. Go claim that crap. So knowing that, what does that look like to you? What do you want? Let's answer a couple of questions. What do you want your daily life to look like? What do you want your income to look like? What do you want your house to look like? And by house, I do not mean big house. I mean, y'all know I live in a freaking hotel, so I have zero care about what my house looks like. But what I mean is, do you want your house to be overrun with inventory, or would you rather not have really anything in your house? Would you rather be the person who is responsible for shipping, or would you rather be the person who is doing digital products where no shipping is required? Right? So, thinking about what your overarching goals are for your own business. Now that we know who now that we know who our person is. Then tertiary to that, which is kind of it's one and the same, but I'm going to put it in three parts even though I didn't do it here, is okay, so what are your overarching goals for social? Why are you here? Why are you showing up? If you want exposure, if you want to reach more people, TikTok's going to be a great place for you. If you want to convert more people, Pinterest is going to be a great place for you. If you want lead gen and community, Instagram, Facebook, great place for you. If you want to build community while also like building a larger brand while also potentially teaching. And teaching does not, by the way, teaching does not have to be what I'm doing right now. Teaching could simply be like going live and doing a crochet thing and showing other people how to do it because you know that that is what your mental health go-to craft is, and maybe you want to help others do the same. YouTube is going to be a really, really good place for you. Okay. So not only do we need to know who we are hitting, but we also need to know why we are hitting them in our own brain box of like, I am coming to the table to advance my business, to reach this numerical number. That was very repetitive. To reach this number, to reach this income. Or my biggest one, to be honest, completely honest with you guys, is impact. Like my biggest core value in my own business, Evolution Designs, is impact over income. So if I make $0, but I got to come on here today and I got to maybe hit someone when they needed to hear that message this morning, I did my freaking job. That is exactly what my business is built on. So what are your goals as it relates to your entire business? And then now that we know that, what are your goals for being on social in the first place? I want you guys to be like BFFR. I'm not going to say what that acronym means. Hopefully, you know, my millennial people on this call. I need you to go do this weekend, because this is going to lay the foundation and lay the groundwork for what we do next week. Because I could have easily made the decision to do it all in today, which granted, no, I couldn't because it's 10:49. But I could have easily gone through all 22 pages of this. I could have been like, go to Instagram and post these things, and here's how you do a story link. I could have showed you that crap all day long. I did it intentionally because I need you guys to go be intentional now. I need you to spend the next couple of days before we chat next Thursday building this out for yourself. That's why I am staying on this screen for so long, because I want you to take a picture of it, please. Or I want you to write it down or something. I want you to think, who is your person? Who is, why is that person your person? What do you want to do to help them? And then why do you want to be on social in the first place? And then once we know all of those things about you, it's going to be a lot easier to actually put pen to paper next week with the execution piece. Okay. Hope all of that makes sense. This is where I feel really comfortable ending today. Also, it's only 10 more minutes. I went way over what I thought I was going to do. And I think it's because, like I said, this is something I could talk about till the cows come home, because I truly believe in it. And I truly know that when you guys do it right, you're going to believe in it as well if you don't already. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm going to give you 3 more seconds. Take a picture, take a screenshot, do what you got to do. Make sure that you write this down, that we really want to look at those 3 things. Obviously, the third thing isn't there, but the third thing again was why, or I guess it's the second thing technically, but why do you want to do this in the first place? Like, what are your overarching goals for your business? Let's just say for 2025. And it could be like as simple as, I just want to show up more consistently, because that's one of mine. Because sometimes your girl don't show up because she's trying to like survive. so I really like, that might just be one of them. And that's totally okay, because we can absolutely apply that goal to social media next week. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen right now. I'm going to get into the comments for a second, if you guys don't mind hanging out for a little while longer. Let me see. Oh God, you guys are amazing. Listen, I am not able to accept all of this kindness that you people are giving me. Oh man, this is so sweet. I will not be reading these out loud because I will not make it. So thank you guys seriously for all of your kind words. None of you had to do that. I was not asking for that at all, but the fact that you do is just absolutely proves that we are all in the right place. And this is the most supportive community. And I'm just so stinking grateful to be here. Okay. Oh, Matt Workey, who's also the person who gave me that funny green tired emoji, which it probably wasn't that, but I thought it was funny. Matty Workey said, sell the vibe, then sell the product. Ooh, that's a good one. I like that. I'm about to put that on a bumper sticker. Sell the vibe, then sell the product. Or maybe like sell the purpose, then sell the product. Like whatever's going to make sense in your mind. I'm a very like acronym, kind of like punny kind of girl. So I love that. And I completely agree with that if you have something about yourself, or if you have something about your products, your services, you better, by the way, that makes them unique. If you're just a copy of a copy of a copy, do not come next Thursday. I will not be able to help you. And I hate that. So don't be a copy of a copy of a copy is the first step. But if you have, and by the way, it's not if, you have these unique things about you. You have a way of doing things. You have a way of like saying words. I know that sounds crazy, but like you have these unique gifts and talents and personality traits and whatever. And then your products show that, as long as they do. Again, don't be a copy of a copy. But as long as those things are shown, they're going to buy them. People are going to buy them. Find your tribe. Here we go. Here it is, Maddie. Find your tribe, sell the vibe, then sell the product. I love it. I'm making a t-shirt. It's happening. All right. So someone said, do you have a video on how to sell on Instagram and or Pinterest? Ooh, good question. So the reason why we're doing this today is because I actually launched a video on the YouTube channel. So on EverBee's channel, it's the most recent one. So just go back to Tuesday, check that out for me. And it is basically talking a little bit about the TikTok ban, scary thing that's happening right now, and what you guys can do about it for the next couple of months. So feel free, go watch that. And then we also have, let me see, I forgot what it was called. I think it's like, marketing your Etsy shop or something of that nature. I can't pull it up or else the sound will get all wonky. If you've been here, you know that it gets really annoying and loud. But if you just go to the channel, we've got dozens of videos that are just fully related to social media. So please, by all means, go check it out. Yes, Linda said brand creators. Thank you. I could not for the life of me think of, that's that prefrontal cortex for you, not remembering things. But Scott Volker, brand creators. Highly recommend checking him out if you don't know him already. Matt. Okay, listen, Matty is just dropping some just facts today. He says fail upward. That's another one that he said, fail upward. Huge. Love that. Oh my God, Jane Valentine proved my point. Thank God, because I don't know if I'm right half the time at all. I got a sale on Etsy from someone who asked for a special listing. That's huge, dude. That's amazing. I love that. Pretty Jewelry Support did ask, would it be possible to send the recording? they were a late join. That's totally fine. Don't worry. We are live every Tuesday, or excuse me, that's a lie. Every Thursday at 10. I also post a video on, I think, 11 a.m. every Tuesday. But if you want to rewatch this at any time, this is always on the channel. And by the way, because this is 1 year, woo, 1 year. I didn't really get to celebrate earlier because I was kind of like having a little minty bee before I got here, but I'm celebrating now, guys. Like, this is 1 year since the first ever YouTube video I posted on EverBee, and this is just proof that like your life could change in a matter of seconds if you just freaking show up. So yes, to answer your question, all of the videos that I've personally done, all of the live streams that I've personally hosted since February 6th of 2024, you can find all on the YouTube channel. Good question. Oh, Catherine Schlosser said she also had 2 of those. Aren't they great? Being people asking for custom orders and being able to make sales from them. I love that. Very, very cool. Very cool. Love that. Sweet. Okay, someone. Oh, that's sweet. That's cool. I love that. Okay, so Maddie said, as someone who has very big symptoms with ADHD as well, he thinks of it as a superpower. Yes, it can feel like anchors in 10 locations, but I would also debate that those chains are why we are able to see the larger picture. I needed to hear that today. Thank you. Whew, that's a good one. I love that. I got so many different things. It's like brain box, brain. I love that you guys are all here. And then someone also said that I need my own dictionary. Agreed. I make up some words. Someone also said identifying my audience has been my biggest struggle. Okay. Ooh. Interesting. I want to ask, would it be beneficial? I'm going really slow right now because I'm trying to determine if I want to do this or not. Would it be beneficial to give you guys an exercise of sentences or questions to ask yourself in order to find out who you're selling to? Would that help? Let me know in the comments if it does. If so, make sure that I will pull it up right now so that you guys know exactly where to go. If you believe that that will be beneficial, I will absolutely do it for you. I already have it because I do this all the time for myself and my own clients anyways. If that's beneficial, let me know. And what I want you to do is make sure that you are in here. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen right now. Hopefully you guys can see it. If you're just listening in, I hope the audio is good. But it's EverBee members Etsy seller growth. You can see we got about almost 33,000 other people in here. So if you thought this Thursday group was supportive, wait till you get there. Okay, so if you're not in there already, highly recommend joining, and then I will add that resource in the Facebook group. Okay, I won't be putting it on the YouTube channel because I want it to be my tribe, my inclusive, exclusive group of people. So make freaking sure that you are in that Facebook group, and I will make that for you if you find it valuable. Lots of brain boxes. I love it. You guys are killing me. Oh, interesting. Oh, so Jane said, this is interesting. Jane said something. Etsy's share and save, which I'll talk about in a second if you don't know what that is, has brought in 995 clicks, but 0 sales. Very interesting, Jane. And I'm going to tell you, it could be a couple of different things. So usually the share and save link, in case you guys do not know, is a little link that basically Etsy allows you to get, I don't know, without looking at it right now, I don't know the exact percentage. I want to say 3. That seems wrong though. Maybe 6. I don't know. But you get a percentage back from like the sale was $10 and I brought them in utilizing the share and save link. So again, by the way, the share and save link is Etsy proving to us that they want us to bring in external traffic. So that's another reason for our call today. So you give them the share and save link. They come in, they buy, you get money off of that. Like, instead of having to pay the full 6.5% transaction fee or whatever it is, Etsy actually puts money back in your pocket for bringing them, by the way, through external traffic. So that's a really, really cool feature. However, Jane is saying that she's running into the issue of lots of clicks, no purchases. So this could be a number of things, but I feel, I could be wrong here. And Jane, I'd be very interested, if you're interested, obviously I don't want to like step on your toes, but I'd be more than happy to do a little audit for you on your listings that you are currently using the share and save link with, because that could be the problem, the side itself. So we basically have two sides. We have this side where the people are learning about you and they are getting the share and save link. And then we have this side. Ignore my little pinky. I slipped and fell on ice. Look at that. It's so ugly. ADHD. And then we have this side where people are already there. They've clicked through and they're not purchasing. So something is wrong with one of these two balls, these invisible balls that I'm holding in my hand. So the first thing, let's talk about the first one. So the first one is where they are getting the share and save link from you. So let's say you are on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on Pinterest, whatever, and you're promoting the share and save link. A lot of things could be happening with that. Either the product is not as desirable, the thumbnail is not as desirable, the product is not in as demand as we think it might be, whatever. But more than likely not, because they wouldn't have clicked through. Okay, so those are just a couple of things to look and think about. But when they get over here, they're not buying. So it seems to me like the packaging is correct, or else they wouldn't have had piqued interest to click through, right? So something seems wrong here. I could be wrong, and I'm willing to do an audit for you if you'd like, but I feel like there might be something on the back end, which means a couple of different things. The 10 photos, the video on your Etsy listing, the description, and your social proof. Those things are not like convincing them quite yet. And I'd be interested in seeing, maybe I could look at like 3 of yours and see like why is it not convincing yet? Because I feel like there's enough demand if 1,000 people are clicking through, but then 0 people are purchasing. I feel like there's something wrong here. Okay. So if you are interested, feel free to shoot that over to me. You can send me a private DM through our Facebook group. I'm always there. Let's see. Okay, cool. You guys are all saying absolutely. 9195 Nikki, thank you. They said the share and save link is 4%. Awesome. You're welcome. Couldn't remember. So a lot of people are saying yes, they would be they would get a lot of benefit from those questions. So I will do that, and I will also encourage you guys to look up, if you like, you're learning a lot today that I wasn't planning on sharing. So I hope this helps. Building a story brand by Donald Miller. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Completely changed my business. If you listen to the episode that I did with EverBee, on the Built Online podcast, I think I mentioned that that's one of my favorites books as it relates to business, because it completely helped me craft who my person was and who I am to them. Okay, so highly recommend. Yes, I will give you the questions and I will pop them in the Facebook group, but I will also recommend that you go out and find on Amazon, it's like maybe $12 or something, Kindle maybe, I don't know, Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. That is going to be your absolute best bet, in my opinion, from my experience thus far. I read it every year. I've read it 3 years in a row. I just got done reading it the other day. So highly recommend checking that out, because that's also going to be like kind of where I'm stemming those questions from. So if you want an even bigger exercise, go get that one. Okay, so we are a little bit over, guys. I told you I was going to do 2 30-minute sessions, but here we are at 102. And that just goes to prove that I'm in the right place, because I'm not even going to lie to you. I was on the phone with my husband before this, freaking the F out. Just basically like, I can't do this. I can't get on this. Pushing this go live button is like the scariest thing in the world. And he's like, you got this. Like, you have the most supportive people around you. Just show up. So I took his advice and then I gave it to you guys. And I was able to not only show up, but I was able to continue showing up. And it's because of you guys. So I want to thank you so, so much for allowing me the space to be here and be me. And I hope you guys feel the same. My entire business is just trying to meet you where you're at and getting you like feeling confident enough, and also feeling human enough and supported enough and encouraged by me to show up. So I hope today was beneficial. I know it's a little bit different than what we usually do, but I really appreciate you guys for allowing this space. And someone said, Maddie asked, where is the PDF? So I'm going to give you guys the PDF next Thursday. So right now it is 22 to 23 pages long, and it's going to go very, very deeply into the other things. So I'm going to give you that next week. So I hope you took good notes. And if you didn't, that's totally fine, because this is all on replay and you can see me on the YouTube channel at any time. Okay. Thank you guys again so much for being here, and I will see you bright and early next Thursday. Bye.